all day Friday, instead of saying hi to my coworkers, I was pretty much saying, instead of hi, I was saying, Black Panther's awesome. Now, there's a lot of cultural importance and significance that's been put onto Black Panther that other people have talked about, and I'm not going to comment on too deeply because it's not my lane. I'm just going to comment on my experience in the movie. My god, I love this movie. Again, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has not made outright terrible movie. I mean, they may have made a disappointing movie or just an okay movie, but most of the time they make solidly good movies or really great movies, and Black Panther's a really great movie. I was ready to give it like 3 out of 4 stars, but other people were saying it's 4 out of 4 stars, and I can be swayed by their arguments. First of all, I mean, the acting across the board is incredible. Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, T'Challa is great as always, and he's solid as in this movie as always. A lot of actors in this movie are just solid, but they didn't find Angela Bassett as Ramonda, T'Challa's mother, and Layla Wright making a mark for herself as the younger half-sister of T'Challa, as well as a gadget person, but she is not limited in her roles in this movie. Andy Serkis, oh my god, he is so great. I mean, he was not on the screen often enough, but when he was on screen, he was having a ball. And another character, a lot of the characters are just interesting and just unique. Even though the movie is called Black Panther is not like the central character. Well, no, it's not the only character in the movie. We get to know a lot about the other characters in the movie, and it's particularly the world of Wakanda. We're seeing this world, this country for the first time ever in its history. We see its culture, we see its rituals, we see many different tribes in Wakanda and how they interact with each other. And that is unique and very interesting, very fascinating. And there's meat on the bone there for you to make other side stories too, and I'm interested to see all those side stories to that as well. The other characters are great. Diana Gorman as Okana, both her acting and her character had a commanding presence on the screen. Oh my god, yeah, I'll trust her with my life too. Lupita Nyong'O, I'm sorry if I butchered that, as Nakia, a Wakandan spy and the ex-lover of T'Challa. They had some good chemistry on screen, or like good moments in between each other and stuff like that. That's another thing. There's humor in here, but they know at the right moments to have a little human here, not just for pathos to just like remove the tension out of the scene, but also to get a sense of like these characters and their interactions with each other. You can tell that they're a family with Angela Bassett as Ramonda, T'Challa's mother, and Layla Wright as T'Challa's younger sister. You can get a sense of who they are by how they interact with each other, and there's humor in there that will help us get connected to those characters. I love it. The story starts off where we kind of like join T'Challa just right after the Civil War, kind of, where he starts to perform rituals for him becoming king of Wakanda. Yeah, those rituals are quite interesting in their own right. It's quite fascinating, and I love how they did that and handled that. And then outside Wakanda, Eric Killmonger steals a piece of vibranium from a British museum to set off the concerns for Wakanda of their secret of vibranium, the special space meteorite metal, magic metal from outer space, which is their source of all of their technology and all their amazing gadgets and stuff like that, and the ritual could get out, and as well as all of their weapons, and that could get out and then cause people to realize that this Wakanda nation is not just a third world nation, and it should, and then cause political conflict and strife to like enter into their nation. And so that what sets up the plot. And my only complaint with Black Panther, if you can think of one, and I have, and my brothers have as well, it's the middle part is kind of it gets a little slow. That's about it. And so a couple of patient news, but it's hard to nail down if like certain scenes would have been longer or certain scenes should have been shorter or something like that. And the action scenes, which in themselves are just awesome and great as well in many different facets. The choreography, I would complain that it's not as good as in other action films, but that's because I compare any action scenes I see in any Hollywood blockbuster movie, I will automatically compare them to, say, Kung Fu movies. Not many movies are going to be as good as, like, Iron Monkey or, like, The Legend of the Drunken Master, and then because those movies focus on the fight scenes, this movie's focused on a lot more different things. So, it's a nitpick, but it's not enough to distract from the film. Also, some of these computer graphicing and 3D modeling of the CG work and the green screen effects in the film, it's a little bit off model, but what? I don't think the movie needs like 3 more months of post-production to just get those things finite and right and stuff like that. It was not distracting from the experience in the movie, and it was great. I love the story of Black Panther and how it's a story of T'Challa. He is the main character, the title character. We are with him as he's grieving for the death of his father, but also as he's struggling with his doubts of becoming a king, and that was quite fascinating and interesting as was on screen. And plus, that was nicely paralleled and put in contrast to the villain. Oh my god, the villain. His name is Eric Killmonger. And this villain is interesting, amazing, and complex. This is probably like the most complex Marvel Cinematic villain in all of the Marvel Cinematic movies. Think about it. Most of the villains in the Marvel Cinematic movies, with like Ironmonger and Rowan the Accuser, they're just like, hey, I'm the villain here, and stuff like that. Because this movie needs a villain, so I'm your villain. What are my motivations? My motivations, I'm the villain. Come on, I like doing villainous things and stuff like that. And by the way, Jeff Bridges, he was great as Obadiah Stane in the first Iron Man movie. But yeah, you know what I mean. The villains are not that complex in the Marvel Cinematic movies. But that's because those movies would have those, like Guardians of the Galaxy with Rowan the Accuser, I have to spend most of the movie telling the origin story of those 5 separate characters, as well as like their origin story together as the Guardians. So there wasn't enough screen time to tell the backstory to Rowan the Accuser and stuff like that, or else it would have been a really long movie, like 2.5 hours or 3 hours long. Black Panther doesn't have that problem, because we kind of already know the origin of Black Panther with Civil War, so you kind of have to see that movie, which is a great movie, before you see Black Panther, of course. But the story of Eric Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan, and a great performance he gives, and finally, he gets to be a star in a good comic book superhero movie. It's good for him. I mean, Eric Killmonger and Black Panther T'Challa's paths are almost parallel in their upbringing and their struggles, so you kind of can sympathize a little bit with, at least with Eric Killmonger's motivations. You do not agree with his actions in the movie, so as I don't, and hopefully you don't as well. But that makes Eric Killmonger such an interesting character as a villain, and that was great. And there's also some internal strife and internal politics happening in Wakanda, because Wakanda is made of like 5 separate different tribes that all they have their own unique culture and experiences and outfits and stuff like that, and that was quite fascinating and interesting to learn. All of the actors across the board and turning great performances. It was amazing. I love it. I mean, it's good enough. I'll be willing to see it again. I'm probably going to see it again just in case. I've already said enough about the cast of this movie, and that's the thing. As others have said, Black Panther is the name of the movie, but we're not focused on just Black Panther, we're focused on all the other characters that I already mentioned. Forrest Whitaker's also in this movie, and I always love Forrest Whitaker most anything I see him in, and he has a strong, pivotal role in this movie that is essential and is kind of a bridging point between T'Challa and Eric Killmonger. Honestly, yeah, if you absolutely hate comic book superheroes, unfortunately I can't convince you to go see Black Panther. I don't think I will, because you just absolutely hate this genre. I don't see how you can enjoy this movie And I don't know if this movie is strong enough to be good enough to transcend that genre of comic book blockbuster superhero movies. But if you do like those movies anyway, you must see this, I say. Just find a way to see it. Even if months later it comes out on DVD or out on Netflix and stuff like that, do go see Black Panther. It's really good. Even though I said my piece about like the action scenes, of which is like just my nitpick problems of like brain state effects and choreography, honest to God, the action was solid as it. I like the final climactic scene, as I always do. There was a nice little surprise in there that I wasn't too surprised of, but it's a nice little treat to see that in there. I mean, believe it or not, people are saying that this is like the Black Star Wars as well as the Black James Bond, because there's some spy espionage scenes and like some gadgets and stuff like that, and I can actually see that. And if people say that, I'm not going to disagree with them on that. Daniel Coelho's also in this movie from Get Out. Sorry if I butchered that name. As Would come back, and he plays a pivotal role in the intrigue in Black Panther and stuff like that. It was quite fascinating to see him in there. And I was like, I know that guy. Where have I seen this guy before? And then I find out later, oh my god, he was in Get Out. He was great in Get Out, and I saw it in this movie as well. I can't think of a bad performance for Black Panther, and that's to the film's credit. Another thing is all the female characters in the movie all have their own agency, all take actions in their own hands when they feel it's necessary. You're not going to control those women, no. All the women in the movie are just as much stars in the movie as Black Panther is the star of the movie, and he is the star of the movie, no doubt about that. And just like Eric Killmonger is also just as much a star of the movie as Black Panther, as well as the world of Wakanda is its own character, as well as the star of the movie, just as much as Black Panther is. I'm just going to say it. Black Panther is easily one of the best of the Marvel Cinematic Universes, even with Winter Soldier, even with Civil War, even with the first Avengers, even with Thor Ragnarok. I love this movie. There are 2 Easter eggs during the ending credits. I love what T'Challa said in the first one. It's a nice subtle dig at someone. I love this movie. Go see it.